Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about using our fib extensions and using the regular Fibonacci tool. So without wasting more time, let's jump onto the video. Okay, so the first tool that we're going to use is the fib retracement. So you can actually find that here, right? And here's your fib retracement. And what you will do is you will start it from the beginning of wave 1 to the end of wave 1. What this will do is will help calculate how far the retracement level for wave 2 will be. Now, like I said in the previous video, wave 2 could really land anywhere. It could be all the way up here, here, all the way here. As long as it does not cross below the beginning of wave 1, it should be good. But typically, it retraces to the 0.618 level. So that's how you would calculate the corrective wave, in other words, corrective wave 2. The next one that we're going to talk about is figuring out the retracement level for wave 4. You will use your Fibonacci level as well, or your Fibonacci retracement tool again. You started from the beginning of the impulsive wave 3. You're going to drag it up all the way to the end of impulsive wave 3. And here you will get the estimated retracement level for wave 4. Now, as long as wave 4 does not cross below wave 1, you should be good. Typically, it retraces to the 0.382 level. Sometimes it can go to the 0.5, sometimes it can go a little bit higher. As long as you see price rejecting off of any of these levels, specifically the 0.382, you should be good to go down on a lower time frame and then enter for your trade. Now, that is how I recommend using the fib retracement levels. Now we're going to talk about the fib extensions. Okay, let's begin. Now, when it comes to finding out the extension level of wave 3, you will use your Fibonacci extension, which is found here as well. Trend-based fib extension is the one you want to use. And what you will do is draw it up from the beginning of wave 1 up to the end of wave 1. Now, here is where some people differ. Some people will bring it down to the correctional wave 2, and you have to make sure correctional wave 2 is finished, by the way. You can't do this without having it being finished first. So anyways, you bring it down to the end of wave 2, and what you will do is mark up or use the 1.618 level on your fib, and that should theoretically be the ending of the wave 3 or your motive wave. So motive wave should be up here. Now, another way that I have seen people do it, and the way I prefer doing it, is bringing it down to the beginning of wave 1. That is how I prefer doing it, because it seems to hit a little bit easier and hit a little bit more. Now, if you are trading towards your fib extension, like let's say you get in after the end of a correctional wave for wave 2 and you see price is going to start shooting up, don't target the 1.618 directly. I would recommend you targeting anywhere below it. So let's say you did get in around here. Instead of going directly to the 1.618, I would suggest a little bit under it, maybe towards the middle. I have a few fib levels for that I can share later on. But that is how I would recommend you targeting the extension levels, especially for wave 3. Okay, now the next one is going to be figuring out where wave 5 will end. Now, before measuring wave 5 or where wave 5 could end, there is apparently a relationship where wave 5 should be just as big as wave 1. So it should typically look like this. You started from the end of the correctional wave, and it should typically end around that same size, right? The same size as wave 1. But I don't really do that because I think that's a little bit more trickier. But I mean, you can try it. It's up to you. The first way, and this is the best way, my way, I prefer it this way. You start from the beginning of wave 3 or the end of correctional wave 2. From here, you bring your tool all the way to the end of wave 3. You bring it back down to wave 2, and wave 5 should theoretically end at the 1.618. That is one way to do it. The second way is like this. You will need these fib settings, by the way, the 1.618 and the 0.618. So what you will do is you will draw your fib extension from the beginning of wave 1 to the end of wave 1, and then from here to the end of wave 4. The 0.618 level will be your first target, and then the 1.618 can be your second target, because wave 5 could theoretically end anywhere. So let me tell you why. Crap, give me a sec, guys. Okay, I think I got it. But anyways, reason being is because sometimes wave 5 will only extend to the 0.618 level, and then it might extend to the 1.618. So that is typically another way that people can use the fib extension level to calculate the end of wave 5. And another thing actually that you'll notice is you'll have the 1 right up here. Typically that is also another target that you could go for, since you're taking the exact length of wave 1 and shifting it all the way up here, and you're saying that the length of wave 1 is equal to the length of wave 5. So that is another way that you can look at it. Now, to calculate wave 5, this is the last example. You're gonna need these fib levels. This one right here, this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. Only use those to not confuse yourself. So what you will do is you will draw the extension from the beginning of wave 1 all the way up to wave 3, and then down to the end of wave 4. Typically, the first target would be the 0.382 level, the second would be 0.618 level, and then if the wave or the fifth wave decides to extend further on, it should theoretically only extend to the 1.618. But that's a little too much, right? But it all depends on how the waves are structured, because sometimes, let's say this is down here, then this will be a little bit closer, and hopefully the 1.618 should be a little bit easier for wave 5 to target. But yeah, that is essentially how you will use your Fibonacci, retracement, and extension tools to calculate your wave, or how far they're going to retrace and or extend. Now, I would recommend only using these specific settings or ways on your overall trend. Don't try using this too much for calculating your correctional patterns. I personally don't really measure like triangle patterns or diagonals. I usually just mark them up with either ABC or ABCD and call it a day, right? Because I don't really like trading correctionals that much, so I don't really find it too valuable or important. I may or may not include a video of it in the series, we'll see. But yeah, this is how you could use, again, your fib extension and retracement tools. Hopefully it wasn't too difficult, and I recommend watching the video if you have to. But yeah, it's really useful. All right, guys, I see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, be blessed, and talk to you soon.